Hallo guys, the Critical German here and welcome to a new wunderbares video. Today we talk about the newest anime of the mastermind Gen Urobuchi, Revenger. There will be no heavy spoilers, but I need to explain some things about characters that appear later. You have been warned. Revenger is set in a time in Japan where samurai still exist, but the Western influence is coming through, marking the beginning of a more globalized world. Our main protagonist is called Raizo. He killed his own father-in-law because it was his samurai duty, but he feels guilty for it. At the end of the day, he visits his fiancée, so the daughter of that man. Unfortunately, she took her own life and Raizo feels even more guilt. So he wants to leave the path of the samurai and joins the Revenger, even though he thinks killing people for money is morally wrong. So yeah, this group of people kill other people for money, but they only do it when someone bites into a coin and wishes death upon a person out of grief. So they have a kind of moral codex to follow. They receive those coins from the church and they give the Revenger money for every successful mission. The question in the room is, what path will Raizo take? Will he stay the proud samurai? So yeah, a new Urobuchi anime. But is it as good as its holy trinity consisting of Madoka, Fate Zero and Psychopaths? Unfortunately not, and I will explain you exactly why. Let's first start with the characters, who are really layered and well written, as usual. We have the protagonist Raizo and he is damn interesting. He has the inner conflict of samurai versus revenger and questions his honor and way of life constantly. Also, how he changes his path later on is really deep and the story puts focus on his tragic loss by showing us his damaged psyche. Then we have Yuan, a Christian believer that connects the revenger and the church that gives them work. He fulfills the role of the person that always sees the good side of people, and so he lets Raizo join the Revenger. His moral compass is needed in a morally grey world like that, so he comes across as wise and teacher-like. Then we have Soji, the polar opposite. He is a gambler and enjoys the simple way of life. He is just in for the money and thinks more rationally in comparison to the idealistic Raizo. The anime pairs them both up, and that was a smart choice considering their opposite roles. Soji always questions the way of the samurai because he is completely different, and Raizo questions his life of gambling and no responsibility. At first I thought Soji will be just a side character, but in reality he is a really important character. The last two members are Neo and the Doctor. Neo is a child and basically a CL Phantom Hive with killer kites and no butler. He had a rough childhood and likes to kill, I guess. The Doctor is very interesting and seems to have a morally grey compass too. But unfortunately they don't really do something with him and give him no backstory or insights. That was kind of a letdown. Okay, so overall we have well-written characters that all fill a specific role in the story and give other perspectives. They play off well of each other and let the people and the viewer reflect on their actions. That was really great stuff and I enjoyed watching them. It's too bad Revenger lacks some essential key elements that holds it back. And this is an overarching plot and fleshed out villains. Don't get me wrong, there is a brighter narrative with a conspiracy involved. The problem is that the anime just kinda sets a wrong focus, so this conspiracy plot doesn't feel incorporated well. The anime has only 12 episodes. The first 8 episodes of the anime are basically every episode the Revenger hunt another person because someone bit into a coin. So it follows a monster of the week approach. They were all connected to the greater conspiracy somehow, but only in the slightest way. Only the last 4 episodes get shit done and they were nice to watch. And at this point we need to compare it to the Holy Urobuchi Trinity. Imagine if Madoka's first episodes were just Mami, Madoka and Sayaka fight witches and only the last 4 episodes would really be plot focused. Would you like that? No. Okay, let's take Psychopaths. It was in a similar position. They had standalone cases in the first 8 or so episodes, and they were all tied into the motivation of the main villain, Makishima Shogo. So it made sense, and the rest of the show was brilliant with an overarching story. But this anime had 22 episodes and not 12, so it made sense. It would have been not that great if they just did the Makishima stuff in only 4 episodes. Would you like that? No. So Revenger would be better with more episodes. Problem solved. It's not that easy either, because there is one other thing missing. In Revenger, we don't have a Makishima Shogo. That's right, the presence of a real complex villain is missing. We get something like that, well, you could say 2 people, but only in those 4 last episodes. So there was no real build up to these people. Sure, they might be interesting and the groundwork is clearly there, but the essential episodes of building them up in the later episodes, like in Psychopaths, just aren't there. So you're like, and that's it? One bad guy literally just wants to see the world burn. You can do something with this concept and dig deeper into his past and motivations, but the show didn't do that. The other one is an opposing force to Raizo with a different point of view. This one works better, but it would be infinitely more interesting if he was there since the first episode and not just episode 8 or 9. This is why this anime is a mixed bag for me. It has well written main characters with interesting perspectives, but on the other side, the story is missing real villains that oppose the mains in a satisfying way. The overarching plot also comes across as lackluster because it doesn't tie in well into the narrative. It felt more months of the week and then, oh shit, the anime is coming to an end, we need to do something. So the focus of the whole anime feels off in my opinion. But you know what? I am recommending the anime to you. Sure, it doesn't come close to Urobuchi's Holy Trinity, but it's not a bad anime by any means. It has flaws, sure, but the great character work and deep themes are there nonetheless. I also really like the ending and it feels narratively satisfying. I will assure you that you get something out of it as an Urobuchi fan. Too bad it feels like no one watched the anime or talked about it. The anime opening has like, what, 100k views? That's really nothing. What a shame. You know what would also be a shame? Not subscribing to me, the critical German. So I would appreciate it if you give the video a like, a comment and subscribe to the channel. That was my opinion. See you in the next video. Macht's gut. Bis dann. Ciao.